Hey, what's good, everybody? Hope you guys are well. I just wanted to make this video real quick to talk about I just got this book, right? I had been working on this book. I don't know if you saw my last video. It says my book of Psalms, the book of old number 3. Oh, this way. Writings and Poetry by Omar Angulo, right? So, I opened it up. I couldn't believe just the quality, how beautiful everything looks, you know what I mean? Even like I made my little table of contents, acknowledgments. I just have all these their writings, right? So anyone that knows, I've written over 1,000 songs, like, but these are very, anyone that knows what the book of Psalms is in the Bible, right? It's kind of like laments, poetry, like different stuff like that. So to me, that's kind of what my writings have been, right? It's more than just, I was never really good at the whole metaphor and boom, boom, boom. I wrote that kind of music, but my strong suit was always, I wrote it in the book, right? The first time I ever wrote a song, a friend told me like, I used to like rap buzzed at parties. And then one day a friend tells me like, yeah, of course at 15, I was already drinking. So, back then, I guess, we were little knuckleheads, right? But, I would used to freestyle like buzzed at parties, and a friend told me like, oh, why don't you write your stuff down? And I was like, well, what do I write about? And he was like, well, just write about what you go through. And then it just started from there, right? So that was always my strong suit. So that's what, like this is a song called, Heaven Must Be Better. And, it's like, so I have pictures of like with my brother and stuff, right? This picture, the very first picture, I love it because it's a picture of my great grandma, right? She's on her deathbed, basically. I don't know if you guys could see it, but that's basically a picture from 1952, right? And, that's like the oldest picture I'm in because my grandma, she's there in the picture right next to her mom that's on the deathbed, right? And she's pregnant with my mom already. And they say a woman has all the eggs she's gonna have when she's born, right? At 20 weeks old, they say a woman, and don't quote me, but I'm almost sure, if I'm not mistaken, they say by the time a woman is 20 weeks old, right, inside the womb, they have 7 million eggs, right? And again, don't quote me, but I'm almost 100% sure. And then they have about 7 million eggs. So by the time, this picture was 1952, and my mom was born in 1952, right? Like she was born in March. So, I mean, even no matter what, right? Within that time, she was way past the 20 weeks. So, I mean, she had the 7 million eggs already or whatever. So I was in there, right? That's what I'm trying to say. I was in that picture, right? Because, a woman is born with all the eggs she's going to have. By the time they're born, I think they have about 2 million eggs. And then by the time they start having like their, the period, it's about, I know it's less than 1 million. I want to say it's in the maybe over 500,000 or something eggs by the time they start that. And then by the time they hit menopause, it's like at 1,000 eggs, right? I know you guys probably didn't need to know all that. Maybe most of you already know all that stuff, right? But I'm just saying, like, I was in that picture. So that's how the whole book starts. That's the first picture in the book. Obviously, because what do you call it? I was in there, right? I was so I love that picture, though, this picture that I'm technically in, right, with my grandma, great grandma, grandma, and she's pregnant with my mom. And then so I was up in there, right, 1952. So I love this picture. It's priceless. I wanted it to be in the book. And then from there, it's just a lot of stuff, right? Like some hip hop stuff since like that was like one of my first songs I sang the first time I came out on TV, right? And then that's like a photo. I don't know if you guys could see it. I don't know, but the quality came out amazing, right? I don't know if you guys could see it, like, but my friend Josh took that picture. It's some abandoned zoo. It's pretty cool. I don't know if you guys could see it, but it's yeah. I'm just saying, like, I don't know. I almost want to read one real quick. Okay, so all that aside, I just want to say this feels amazing, right? It's like my legacy. Like, I'm really proud of this. This is probably, like the 216 book, because I was like, I might as well show you guys all the books I've done, right? So this is all from this year, right? So my 216 book was more like for humanity, right? Like, this was the first book I wrote, right? And just in case if you want to pick it up, it's the second edition. Make sure you get the second edition one. The 216 was for humanity, right? This is knowledge for everyone. This is Like I felt I was definitely guided to do this, right? It took about 4 years to give me the information that I put in this book, and the information hasn't stopped, right? Since I finished this book. So it was the 216. Then I wrote this book. It was like my contact with UFOs, otherworldly beings, and what is it? My contact with UFOs, otherworldly beings, God, angels, demons, and more, right? The little UFO right there, right? What do you call it? I almost wanted to take this book down because it felt too personal, or I was just gonna put it for like $100 so nobody buys it till, after I'm gone from here, right? Like I was like, that book, I just didn't, I haven't even promoted it once. I think I posted it once on this YouTube channel, and I haven't posted it ever again on anything. So that book, I just haven't, it's again just my stories, my journal, right? So within these 3 books, it's like I've left like my little legacy, you know what I mean? Like, but it's cool, I'm legit an author, but I don't know. This book of Psalms is just amazing to me, I have like different pictures that, I've taken, but you just gotta see it. And I'm surprised, like just the quality, the way the writing came out, I'm mind blown. Let me see, what's a good one to pick? Like something, for example. Well, this song was, someone once at one point asked me what was the most personal song I wrote. This was like I apologize. It was kind of when I was like going through a tough time in my life, right? I don't know, maybe this one's a little too deep for right now. I don't want to get all like in a serious mood. I'm trying to think what's a good lyric I should a good one. I mean, they're all good, but I'm just trying to see. Okay, I'll read this adolescent one, right? Because it's the second song I ever wrote. And I was, I was a teenager and I'm over here singing like adolescence, right? To the kids, right? So it goes like this. It's like Shaquille and Kobe together whooping your ass. For a second, everybody thought the Raiders were back. Why such a rush, little dog, to go and pick up a strap? You adolescent and enjoy it, cause that there don't last. The fast cash and tramps, man, I give it right back. Crooked homies, cops be hating, and these scandalous hood rats. Is it that bad? You got a roof over your head. Until my more unfortunate homies stop wishing for death. I know it's rough, this world is tough, they throw you crumbs, not bread. But you can make it, life don't waste it, take it step by step. And all the young ladies, don't be in a hurry to bloom. Just keep your mind on your money and listen up in that room. Cause soon you'll be in my shoes wishing you could go back to playing football on the streets, to flirt with girls in class, staying late out with my homies before the drugs and the gangs, riding bikes, handlebars, or the pegs in the back. It's adolescence. And then the chorus goes, it's adolescence, that there is precious. And don't forget it, because once it's gone, that's it, dog, and you just might regret it. All the things I should have done, but I can't trip, it was fun. Reminiscing on my past and how it was to be young. It's adolescence. So that's like, that was my second song I ever wrote. And as a teenager, it's crazy, right? Even the depth, right? Like just how much depth I had as a kid, right? Like at the time, Shaquille and Kobe, I think they had already broken up and they had gone through that thing where they were winning a few championships for the Lakers, right? But what I'm trying to say is it's like Shaquille and Kobe together whooping your ass. For a second, everybody thought the Raiders were back because the Raiders were supposed to come back to Los Angeles and everyone was so excited. And I thought, wow, if people cared about their kids as much as they care about these sports, how different the world will be, right? Like just the amount of time. So this was a teenager me thinking that, like just observing already, like, wow, these fanatics. And later it came true because I actually went to a Raider game, years after I wrote this song, my first football game. And there was literally a Raider fan stabbed the Chargers fan, right? So I was like, what the hell? I didn't see till I got home that, because I seen the scuffle, because we had these amazing seats. Like a friend invited me. And actually, I give him his acknowledgments, because he's the first one that told me to ever write down my lyrics, right? So I know I'm all over the place, but I was so excited about this. I can't even tell you. Like, I'm gonna tell them they better bury me with this book. Even over the other ones, I just love this book. I'm really excited. Like, I can't even tell you. When I opened it and I saw the quality, I know the zoom thing isn't the best. It's like not even 1080 with the zoom thing. It's like 720. And this was like the set. Look, it was in my gangster days, right? Like, I was all thug life. And the song, I put it with a song called California Thugs, right? that I wrote, because that was the second song I ever wrote, right? The song called, oh no, the first song I ever wrote that was a complete song was, it was called California Thugs, right? And that's because, that's what I grew up like, influenced by the gangster rap and all that. But I changed, my depth just got too deep to just be doing like gangster rap. It just wasn't, I it wouldn't have been able to contain me, right? Gangster rap wouldn't have been able to contain me with the depth. But anyways, back to the adolescent one. I was just already trying to explain, like, without saying it, but already trying really hard to explain. Or mostly, I always wanted people to ask me about the lyrics, right? Because I couldn't really put everything that I was trying to explain in these lyrics, right? Like making things rhyme and stuff, just hoping people will catch the message, right? The underlying message in that. And then even that, right? Why such a rush, little dog, to go and pick up a strap? You're adolescent and enjoy it, because that there don't last. So even in my teenage years, already having seen things, seeing friends go to jail early, I seen a lot of stuff. I seen even myself trying to be recruited by like older veterano guys at a young age. And later on being like, thank goodness I had my parents, they were hardworking parents, right? If anything, it was just like that they were so busy, working 2 jobs or this and that they couldn't be there to watch everything I did. So that's what allows for people to be trying to influence you, right? But there was enough foundation, that even that, when people are trying to recruit you, like, hey, as older gangbangers and that, now as an adult, like it's disgusting to me, right? So I'm just gonna put it out there. It's disgusting that older men, really already men, are trying to recruit young kids. And obviously, it's the young kids that they send to go do this crap. And I know in some places they don't have a choice, right? It's like they take you and they do it. So all this stuff, like, there was just so much depth in a teenager me already just being around it and observing it, right? Like, but like I said, sometimes people didn't have a choice. I'm already saying, like the fast cash and that, because I was already around people hustling and, like I didn't even remember. Like I remember like when I was still a freaking, I think I was like in elementary when I had like my first car. And as a kid, you don't think about it. But like these drug dealers, they had this car and they were like, you want it? I was like, yeah. But as a kid, I didn't take them seriously. But we had, like I owned the car at an elementary from these like freaking drug dealers. And it's like we just tore it into pieces, right? It didn't run. I mean, I'm sure like if I knew about mechanics, I could have probably fixed it and it would have ran. But they literally let me have this damn car and we just tore it to pieces, right? Like as freaking kids, like, oh, getting parts, using like the axle as a sword or different just dumb stuff. Like, but the car was intact when they gave it to me. And then we just chose to like tear it apart because they didn't run, right? Like, what do elementary kids know about mechanics, right? Or even the idea of telling someone, hey, they let me have this car, like, hey, help me fix it or something. So I don't know. It's just crazy. I was around a lot of stuff growing up. So somehow I peaked game. I saw it, and my thing was reporting back to the kids even younger, like younger than me, to like, hey, you don't want to go that route, because I saw, right? I saw what it did to people, right? I saw like even these gangbangers, right? I don't know, right now it's crazy. I remember even once walking up, and the same, it was like already in elementary. I remember walking up my block and these 2 guys from a rival gang were fighting. But back then, it was still like they fought. It wasn't just like, oh, let me just shoot you, even though like there were already drive-by shootings on my street and stuff. But I remember this guy once and his eyeball was dangling out and the other guy had a knife, right? And they were fighting right there. And we're just like seeing it as kids, and it was like nothing. Like we got so desensitized so young. And it was just a crazy whatever. But anyways, like I saw a lot, and so I wanted to tell the kids, I wanted to give some kind of game, right? I was already looking out for the kids, right? Because that's just how it was back then, right? But anyways, and then even the young ladies, right? Telling them like don't be such a rush to grow up, right? Like it's a beautiful thing when you can just take in that your adolescent time, right? Your youth, be happy, and all this stuff. So it's just beautiful, right? And then that was the first time I was on the newspaper, like I was a little freaking like mariachi guy, right? So I was like, I don't know, probably 5 years old, and we're doing some kind of, what is it called, like la raspa, right? But I don't know, I forgot what it's called. I don't know, la raspa. Right here they put Mexican folk dance, right? So I don't know if that's, I guess, what it was considered we were doing. But whatever, it's just amazing, right? This is my discography, right? Just so many things that I've done. And yeah, right. So yeah, this book, I'm gonna put the links to it, right? If anybody, like, to me, like I said, it's my learnings from being it has this because this is the, not for resale thing, right? That I ordered to check out how it was. Man, yeah, I love it. Hopefully, hopefully people, especially if you're an artist, right? You want to see, like like I'm saying, like I've written so many things, invaluable, right? Like and if you're a writer, poet, whatever, artist, maybe one day you'll put, like, I have enough, right? I'm after seeing the quality of this, I already want to make another one, right? So chances are I'm gonna make another one of these, my Book of Psalms part 2 or something, and just because how good this came out. So if you're an artist, maybe it's something to look forward to doing yourself, right? Like leaving your legacy behind. Obviously, like I've built up that much material to be able to do one of these books, so it's a beautiful thing. And with that, I think that's it. Like I said, I have all these other books. Like I wrote them all this year. I feel like, and I just released an album. I don't tell Dark, huh? So I feel like taking a little break now. I probably not. I know I'm probably gonna already start on something else. But yeah, it's funny right now. We're waiting for this Hurricane Hillary. People are asking me like, oh, aren't you worried about Hillary? I was literally praying for rain, right? So when I saw like a hurricane's on the way, see right now even I'm sweating just from doing this without the fan, right? So yeah, I've been praying for rain. So when they said Hillary, I was like, cool. Like, I know it's gonna affect some people, obviously worse than others. But for me, hey, I'm gonna have a few nights without having to have a couple fans on me just to sleep. So I'm kind of looking forward to Hillary, if I'm being honest. You know what I mean? I'm gonna welcome her with open arms, and that's it. I mean, my dog, she has web feet, so if there was something, I got a little life raft, and I'll tie her to it and have her freaking just paddle me to safety, right? I'll just playing, or we'll take turns, right? Then I'll put her on, and I'll paddle her out. But that's it. I'm not really worried about Hillary. Like I said, I was praying for rain. So thank you for listening, and that's it. I'm out of here. Thanks for listening to my little happy rant, right? Because it's pretty exciting. All right, peace.